tomorrow evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could turn your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love's in need of a love today. Don't delay, send yours right away. It's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. The force of evil plans to make you its possession, and it will if you let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures if peace and love you treasure. Won't you hear me when I say that love's in need of love today? Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. Hi, welcome. Good to see you all. Good to see you. I see right now that my camera that's doing my Instagram is crooked. I know that's going to bother me. So there. I hope that's better. Maybe that's better, maybe that's not. I can't see you Instagram humans, but I can see all the Facebook people on One Longfellow Square and on Peter Mulvey and on my profile and on YouTube. Do me a favor, if you would, and share. Just hit share. It looks to me like there's a fair number of people here already. If you all hit share simultaneously, you draw on a few friends. I am singing tonight. It's the 31st of May, and I'm in partnership with One Longfellow Square, and so I've been doing these live streams since the lockdown began, because my touring life has ended for the foreseeable future. And I'm partnering with venues because hopefully we can all make it through to the other side. But out of my portion tonight, you know, after I pay my people, I'm going to take 10% of what I take home tonight, and I'm going to give it to the George Floyd Memorial Fund, and also 10% and give it to Reclaim the Block Minneapolis, and 10% to give to the Black Visions Collective in Minneapolis, because it's just that kind of a week. And again, if you're strapped, if you're out of a job, it's fine. Be here, listen, share it, all of it. That's fine. You know, we're all just doing what we can today. So here's a song directly for the President of the United States of America, who has seems to gleefully be calling for the death of American citizens. and calling the protesters thugs and saying when the looting starts, the shooting starts. We all watched him 2 weeks ago say that there were some very fine people with semi-automatic weapons at the State House in Michigan. Huh. So this is for him. This is called "Oh My Dear, the Demagogue." Oh my dear, what a little time has done to you. Oh my dear, what a little time has done to you. We're all worked up in such a state, boxing its shadows, staying up late. Oh my dear, what a little time has done to you. Oh my dear, what kind of storm blew through? Oh my dear, what kind of storm blew through? The demagogue, the general, the priest, them that need you most, but love you least. Oh my dear, what kind of storm? Oh my dear, how did I let you down? Oh my dear, how did I let you down? I couldn't hear you while I was out in the wind. I sang an angel's tune on a beggar's skin. Oh my dear, how did I let you down? My dear, how will we put this right? Oh my dear, how will we put this right? Call the bone setter, bring the hammer around. Oh, wait for the rain to wash it all down. Bring on the sage to show the brokers the door. Grandmother's garden or the killing floor. Mother's milk or a cleansing fire. Gabriel's horn or Orpheus's lyres. Oh my dear, how will we put this right? Oh my dear, how will we put this right? Oh my dear. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. I've gotten a few comments that the vocals are distorted, and so I shall turn them down just a shade. Let's see how that works. And what else? Yeah. Oh, I see. I got your point. Is that better? That's probably better. I bet that's much better. Excellent. Let me know. Let me know via the comments. Some people were wondering where the. Some people were wondering where you can tip. Well, right there. I'll put that on there. It feels weird, but you know what? This is where we live now. And in the old days, you could just go to the venue. Speaking of the venue, as I said, I'm partnering with venues just about every week while I'm streaming, and so just to treat it like a regular gig, because they're all shuttered and I'm shuttered and we're all shuttered. If you are working, I'm glad to hear it. And if you are not, well, you're in the same boat with a lot of us. We are going to get through this. That's it. That's just how it's going to have to be. So, that song was called Oh My Dear, the Demagogue. And this song is called Song from Michael Brown. I wrote this years ago, and I still mean it. I still mean every word of it. I just recorded it. It'll be out on a record that will be out early next year. My friends Shanti Ross and Monique Ross played on the recording. I'm asking you to have some compassion for young dead Michael Brown, and for his family, and for his city, and for the man who shot him down, and for all of the marchers, and for the cops and for the soldiers, and for the angry white men on TV, and for the mothers and the hopeful and the fearful and the hateful and the righteous, and you and me, and for our friends, and for our families, and for our neighbors, one and all, and most especially for the next child, for the next child we know will fall. I know God loves us. I know God loves us. I know God loves us. I don't know how. I know God loves us. I know God loves us. I know God loves us. I don't know how. But I'm asking you to have some compassion for young dead Michael Brown. Yeah. You know, I actually listen to these songs, even though I have sung them hundreds and hundreds of times. You know, it's a weird thing to bring a song to life. It's been my life's work. It's the only motion that I've repeated, I don't know how many tens of thousands of times, to start and go through the middle of and finish a song. And you have to make it alive. You have to sort of be in the present moment. It's been a real blessing and a real chore, and it's really humbling, and it's really frustrating, and it's just a great. It's people have been doing this since songs were invented, you know. And one of the ways I've noticed that I do this is that I listen to the song itself, you know, and to myself singing it. Like I in some weird sense, it goes best when I can sort of be in the exact position that you're in. And I got to, you know, the line in this song about the man who shot Michael Brown down, you know, the man who killed him, and how what I'm asking for there, what I'm asking the listener, which in this case was me, is to have some compassion for him, in this case a guy named Darren Wilson. And it struck me how much more difficult that is now with Derek Chauvin, you know, who killed George Floyd. You know, any good spiritual practice would tell us that we have to find some compassion for him, but we didn't have video. Darren Wilson shooting Michael Brown in the top of his head, you know, we didn't have video of that. We have video of that man just casually putting his knee on another human being's neck and choking him out. Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I can have, you know, I'll work on it. It's a lot easier to have compassion for George Floyd. It's a lot easier to have compassion for the people in the streets and the people of the communities. Frankly, it's easy to have compassion for people who want to just retreat to comfort and pretending all this is not happening. I'm hoping that I'm able not to do that myself, you know, but man, it's hard to have compassion for that guy. All right, I'm going to sing you a song. I know that I'm kind of zoning in on this topic tonight, but, you know, I have friends that live in Minneapolis and own a business there. They went to the first night of protests and got tear gassed and saw the police, some of the police, you know, tear gassing just innocent, unarmed, non-violent people, which really, let's just say it means that those police were, in the name of the state, inciting violence themselves. And, you know, and then businesses started to burn, and it appears that there are people taking advantage of this situation to sow dissent. It looks like from both the left and the right, you know, white supremacist movements and anarchist movements. And now my friends are they boarded up their business, and they're spending all night, you know, sitting outside their business with a cadre of friends, just keeping watch on the neighborhood. And most people are peaceful, but anyway, my God, we're all going through this. So here's a song that I wrote in 1992, 28 years ago. Standing with my sneakers, soaking up their lake of gasoline. Standing with my Bob Dylan comic books and a bag of Boston baked beans. Standing here, I realize, I see it now, I know what you mean. I smell the future. I smell the future. I smell the future, and it smells like gasoline. Lying face down in the streets, they beat the shit out of him. His face was such a sight. Lying to us blatantly, they handed down not guilty. I say that's not right. Lying on my mother's couch, screaming at the television, watching LA burn into the night. And then we smell the future. We smell the future. Do you smell the future? Well, it smells like gasoline. Driving in my dreams, I'm on I-90 driving east. Driving the last nail in this corner of my life. But these goodbyes are at least. Driving river of my dreams is dragging me on. And to say the least, I smell the future. I smell the future. I smell the future. And it smells like, where have you been, my blue-eyed son? What did you see there, my darling, my darling, my, where have you been, my blue-eyed son? What did you see there? Oh, well, that was called Smell the Future, and I wrote that after the Rodney King verdict, which came, I went and looked it up. He was beaten savagely in March of 1991, and the verdict came April 29th, 1992. And, you know, yeah, that was 28 years ago. That was the first, you know, that I remember of you know, really just sort of ordinary police violence. You know, there was obviously the cameras during the civil rights movement, you know, police violence against demonstrators and all of that. But this, just the police in the course of business being absolutely, you know, savage, and citizenry, just ordinary citizenry, getting a hold of the means to broadcast this, the means to record it, you know. I am cautiously hopeful in that I'm listening to the rhetoric of mayors and sheriffs, and it sounds different to me. For those of you who are young, it sounds different to me. You know, the mayors are saying, we understand your rage. You know, we hope to keep order, but you know, we're going to protect people over buildings. It's slightly different amongst some of them. Obviously, our president is a giant step backwards for the voices that lead us, but some of the mayors and some of the police chiefs, the police chief in Houston was great on this topic. Anyway, you know, I'm just trying to keep my own hope alive, and hopefully yours. Let's see. All right, we're doing the best we can with sound. We got some distortion when I'm playing loud, and it's quiet when I speak. So I'll move the mic closer when I speak and further away when I play. Here's another new song. This is called Pray for Rain. And I wrote this with my songwriting partner, Jay Green. And it's also going to be on my new record. And this is for anyone who is worried about young people growing up in this world. And the title, Pray for Rain, comes from James Baldwin, who has been kind of America's Orwell, only I would say a little more loving than Orwell, but absolutely as hard-eyed and clear in his writing. When your weary tale is too cold to tell, and every stranger's glance turns you away, when the mask you wear is a worn-out shell, and your guiding lights refuse to see when the pages of your secret book are torn and stained. Oh my child, close your eyes and pray for rain. Now the better angels, they have fled the field, and the people sway to a devil's song. Every bitter seed has come to fruit, and common mercy deserts the throng. The eyes and the hands of the city on the hill are hard as stone. Oh my friends, close your eyes. You're not alone. Close your eyes. Who needs to know when the knowing is easy? You can go, but going is gone. Who's gonna hold you when you're alone and traveling on? Every face you keep in your tender heart, they must make their way in the heedless wind. And although you have worked all of your life, there is nothing you can keep. You can only begin. But I will be just around the curve of the river and the road where they reach the sea. Oh my love, close your eyes and reach for me. Close your eyes and reach for me. Close your eyes and reach for me. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Here's one from my most recent record. If you are here already and listening, you are doing all the supporting that I really need. But if you want to support me or any artist, one thing you can do is buy our records. There are bigger concerns, obviously, today, but on the other hand, where would we be without artists? Whenever I go and talk to like a room full of school kids, you know, like when a show and tell happens, a friend of mine who's a teacher brings me in there to sort of be an artist. Hey, look, an artist. I always tell them, like, you know, we've been making art as a species since our primary concern was, like, you know, trying not to get killed by predators and like crack the marrow and the bones of whatever creature the predators had brought down after they scurried away, you know. Even back then we were making cave paintings. Anyway, this tune is called Fool's Errand. Right now
Now a friend of mine is sleeping in an island in the sound. Another friend is sleeping by a wood stove up inside the hills. I'm in the city in the road and I got coffee in the maker, and I pick up my guitar, let the whole day do what it will. Well, just about the moment that you figure out it's all going way too fast, figure you should stop and take a look around and see if you can tell if you were truly knowing what you know. But I left town on a fool's errand a long time ago. My father was a Studebaker road on a rainy stretch of road. My mother was lilacs carried on a breeze. My brother was a back with a banana seat, a baseball bat, a Booker Creek, and a pair of jeans with holes in the knees. And one spring day, the pretty girls with the long hair, the pigeons in the town square, the fair green hills, blue sky above you, get along and go a little cabin nestled down below. I left town on a fool's errand a long time ago. Hey, one day you'll be sitting with your river broken everything and thinking about the baby that you used to be in an old photograph. This is all along goodbye to everything you thought you had to be in when you can't cry. Some fool will tell you that you gotta laugh. Oh, when the moment comes you got to step it up and learn to sing a brand new tune. Your secret heart comes through. You got to find your way back to the place that you remember, and it's burning like a fire in the snow. But you left town on a fool's errand. I left town on a fool's errand too. We left town on a fool's errand a long time ago. Hey, hey,
Hey there. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm seeing hellos from people all over. Seeing hellos from the Netherlands. That's good. Man. Whew. That was called Fool's Errand. I saw a request as well for, you know, I'm going to get rid of this caption for a minute. Just, if you're a guitar nerd and you want to watch the hands, just watch the hands for a while. I don't know. Saw a request for this tune. I'm happy to do this tune. This is called Me and Albert. The Albert in question is a cat. I had friends, I have friends, and they had these cats. Brother and sister, gray cats, Frankie and Albert. Which is an old blues song, Frankie and Albert. And I was watching television with the cat one day, and I was I burst into song. Carol's gone, Carrie's gone,
Chris is gone, Frank is gone, everybody's gone, and it's me and Albert, me and Albert, me and Albert. A cold wind shakes the window pane, all the ticking of the winter rain, and only this refrain, and it goes me and Albert, me and Albert, me and Albert. Hey, 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 hey. There's trouble in the TV zone, so throw the dog-eat-dog a bone, and who will cast the stone? And it's just me and Albert, me and Albert, me and Albert. You change the channel, there's a blonde, and would you like to be her friend? Emptiness abounds, it is just me and Albert, me and Albert, me and Albert. Hey, 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 hey. Goddamn TV off and listen to the old pipes cough and watch the shadows all go soft. Me and Albert, me and Albert, me and Albert. I am drifting off for dreams to catch, and there atop the old blue couch, so you look at me and stretch. It is just me and Albert, me and Albert, me and Albert. Hey, 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 hey. Thank you. Oh yeah. As I said before, tonight I am playing in partnership with the venue One Longfellow Square. And of course I'll be paying my agent and my manager. We're all trying to climb onto a smaller and smaller life raft, it seems. Gotta say, I love that Andrew Yang guy. You know? Seems like a visionary now, doesn't he? But if you want to support me and you like guitar playing and you want to take a 4-hour guitar lesson via video with me, I have a course up on a site called TrueFire. TrueFire.com. If you just Google TrueFire and Peter Mulvey, you'll come to that course, and I don't know, I forget what it costs, maybe 30, 40 bucks. But I have a TrueFire course, and then I also have a Patreon, and that's right on the front page of my webpage, petermulvey.com. There's a little button that says Patreon. I'm writing a new song every month and doing a little podcast, and I'm going to do some, I think I'm also going to do some education there. So, or oh, that's great. Holy crap, did you switch from Kaiser to Shub? Welcome to the team. Thank you, Josh. Yes, good to see you. Yes, I am now using these Shub capos. I just got sick of the big thing hanging over the thing, and also I found that now with the little tensioner, I can do my partial capoing thing. So, yes indeed. I had a request for this song, and this song is this song came from the deepest part of me. There is another world, but it is in this one. There is another world, but it isn't this one. Come walk with me on All Saints' Day. Green in shades of touch, green and light a kiss, green in shades of touch, green and light a kiss. So come walk with me on All Saints' Day. Tremble like a leaf, and then what would you do? Tremble like a leaf, and then what would you do? Oh, come and walk with me, come walk with me, come walk with me. Getting some more requests here, and I see one Longfellow Square has gone and posted. They also have a Venmo link and a PayPal link up, and they have a donation page right on their web page. If you would all also just, if you're anywhere in New England and you think you might ever want to see great music in Portland, go click like on their Facebook page. We're also streaming there, and by all means donate to them. One of the things I like about this is that you can donate. You can donate to my PayPal or Venmo. You can donate to their PayPal and Venmo. And I can't see what they make, and they can't see what I make. But we just trust each other, you know. Like, I love that end of this business. We definitely work in the shallow end. This is not like stadium rock or anything. You know, the fees have been small all of my life, but I've also never had a financial argument with a venue. Like, we're transparent, and we all look after each other, and it's friendly, and that's been great. You know, 30 years. Places like One Longfellow are just absolutely stand-up institutions. So by all means, donate to their bucket or my bucket. It doesn't matter, because we're going to divide it up the way we said we would. I'm going to take part of mine and give it to the George Floyd Memorial Fund, and also to Black Visions Minneapolis, and also to Reclaim the Block Minneapolis, because it's that kind of a night. There's a couple more requests here, and I'm going to do them on the way to the top of the hour. The song's called 29-Cent Head, and light up a billion rooms. The light outside, quiet as a tomb. The fools on the screen, they try to get each other into bed. $40 haircuts on a 29-cent head. But you just don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Can I get something else instead? Them shapes in the bed are the senator and the CEO. Which one of them shapes is on top? Wouldn't we all like to know? Father's got his hand on the altar boy's knee. The choir is preaching to us, and the choir wants us to agree, but we just don't get it. We just don't get it. We don't get it, but we know this don't come free. Every election feels like the perfect crime, like they think they can fool all the people all the time. They say the water is not rising when the food shoes are soaking wet. They want to drive us crazy, but we ain't crazy yet. We just don't get it. I can't tell one place from another all across this land. Bring me the architects, let me shake the architect's hand. Yeah, the shops are full of nothing, and the streets are full of fear. Tell me now that we're all connected, tell me why don't we get near, but we just don't get it. We just don't get it, we don't get it, but we know this don't come free. Got 1,000 talking heads, wanna tell you where it's at. When we look behind the curtain, look at where the puppet master sat. There's an empty chair, puppet master's gone, puppet's on stage, lying flat. Oh, I just don't get it, I just don't get it, I don't get it, and I'm vaguely proud of that. I just don't get it, and I'm vaguely proud of that. I hope I never get it. Oh man, I've been thinking a lot about empire, and you know, empires come and empires go, and you know, we live in one. And I did not vote for George W. Bush. And I did vote for Barack Obama. But both of them went through pandemics. And both of them, you can go and look this up. George W. and Barack Obama had more or less the same approach to public statements during a pandemic. They would come out and say, well, my fellow Americans, there's a pandemic. Here are some scientists. And I know you can shoot holes in that. You know, there's an epidemic of gun violence in this country, and only one of the two presidents I just mentioned treated it like an epidemic of violence. I know you can shoot holes in anything, but I guess what I'm saying is, we've lived in a hegemonic empire all of my life. That's the way it is. And the absolute ugliest parts of it have surfaced in this miserable excuse for a president. And I think we need to get him out of there. You know, we need to get Biden in there and start pushing Biden in the direction we want us to go. All right, back to the music. Anyone who's in the hey Peter, would you keep your politics to yourself crowd, I really need to apologize to you, because clearly I didn't do a good enough job as a songwriter for you to figure out what my politics are. All right, here is another request. I guess it's all requests. When this bird has flown, when spring has sprung, When what you used to know like the back of your hand isn't even on the tip of your tongue. When the chips have settled, when the dust is down, when you have washed off the grease paint and you are still a clown. Who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you now? Who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you now? Now. When the bottle is empty, when the money is gone, when you are just another angry old man shouting, "Get off of my lawn!" When your tree has fallen and there was no one to hear it, when your heart is a cornered stray and you can't get near it, who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you now? Who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you now? Who's gonna love you now? When the very bottom dollar has gone to the last top dog, when the princess has kissed you soundly and you are still the frog, when there's no way through, when the only way is out, when it is all over but they're shouting and you're too tired to shout. Who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you now? Who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you now? Now. All the requests coming in. Thank you. Oh, a friend of mine just said they love that line, when your heart is a cornered stray and you can't get near it. Fun story about that. The first time I played that song, I had just written that song, and I went to play that song. And a songwriter friend of mine, Jeffrey Martin, who, by the way, is, I think, live streaming also tonight, so look for him. He's a Eugene, Oregon native. Jeffrey Martin, wonderful songwriter. And anyway, I got to that line. He was in the audience, and I got to that line, when your heart is a cornered stray and you just can't get near it. And he was looking at me, and he heard me sing the line, and he just went, which made me really happy. Here's a newish one. I'm probably not going to record this one. This one is just specifically suited to the situation we're in now, or maybe I will. I don't know. This is another one I wrote with my songwriting colleague, Jay Green. Now that we are all as lonely as the lonely always were, I am just like you face behind a screen, a voice at the end of a line. And I'm so scared 'cause I don't get to know. I don't get to know. I don't get to know if I'm gonna see you on the other side. Does it help to know that this was always true? Because it was. And so then what were you saying when you said I love you? What does that mean now that you don't get to know? You don't get to know. You don't get to know if you're gonna see me on the other side. Days will go by one, by one, by many, and we'll go on, and we'll forget, and we'll remember, and we'll say I love you. We don't get to know. We don't get to know. We don't get to know. But I'm gonna see you on the other side. Oh, someone came on and asked me to play I Smell the Future. I played it. It was the second or third song I played tonight. It's been on my mind because cities are on fire here in the United States. I'm turning the little tip thing back on. I'm going to play a few more requests and a couple more things that I need to hear and then sign off. Again, especially for those of you on Instagram, I'm not able to put the tip information up there, but you can go to my Venmo or my PayPal or one Longfellow's Venmo or PayPal or website. That's the way to support this concert. And my share of the proceeds from this concert tonight, I'm going to take 10% and give to the George Floyd Memorial Fund and another 10% to give to Reclaim the Block, Minneapolis. And also 10% to give to Black Visions Minneapolis. So there's a lot of people out there that need our help. And we can do what we can do. Here's a tune. I had a request for this, and I've been thinking a lot about this tune. I've been thinking a lot. I grew up in a violent place. I've been beaten up a lot more than most people my age. You know, decade by decade, America has been becoming a less and less violent place. That's fairly well borne out. I was born in 1969. I grew up on the northwest side of Milwaukee. My house was burglarized as I grew up. I think 4 or 5 times people broke into our house and took what there was to take, and I got beaten up, which is no fun, especially when you're 9 or 10 or 14. You know, and I saw violence as well.
You know, I grew up in what we call America's inner cities, and it was certainly different for me when my family called the police. The police came. And, you know, all the kids on the playground, almost none of them had that resource, you know. And, of course, now with what I know as an adult person as well, it's not just that the police didn't defend as well my fellow kids on the playground, it's that they were sometimes brutalizing them. So it's just all of this has been on my mind, and it's been stirring stuff up for me, just speaking as someone who kind of grew up right on the border between the hardest neighborhood in Milwaukee. One of the most incarcerated zip codes in America was the next zip code over from the house I grew up in. And then, you know, all you had to do was go like 5 blocks west of me out into the suburbs, and suddenly everyone was white, and you know, everything was better. The houses looked better and everything was safer and all of that. And so when things like this come up, we have a long way to go. That's what I've got. And this song is about, this song came from a place of violence and shame and personal transformation.
We used to hate that little fucker. We used to beat him up. And when he cried, it made us hate him more. I mean, Jesus, kids are awful. Boys especially. We used to taunt him all the way to his screen door. But all of this was just before the war. The little town would get all lit up on a tall summer night. The high school girls, they'd smoke behind the store. And if you could get a car, you could go out and drive around, drive down to the lake, sit down by the shore. Yeah, but all of this was just before the war. Everything changes, isn't that what they say? Oh, you'll believe it when the world falls away. That little fucker was brave, and it turns out that I wasn't. And you learn what that means or what it doesn't. So now the years go like they go. You rake leaves, you shovel snow, and probably you're no different than before. The town still gets all lit up on a tall summer night. The light shines down through my window to my floor. And I think about the time before the war. Think about the time
Oh man, I am very glad that I grew up where I grew up. I am. For all, I mean, it was often frightening and painful, but it was more often just a neighborhood. And I rode my bike all over there and all of that. And I was in an all roller skate production of the musical Oklahoma, just a few blocks from my house at a Lutheran church. But I also been thinking about this, you know, like one day, little dreamy kid that I was, 10 years old maybe, I got out my little orange skateboard and I got out a big Glad trash contractor bag. It was this hyper windy day, super windy autumn day. And I went down the middle of the street using this thing filled with air to drag me along, not particularly fast, you know, because stuff like that doesn't work all that well. But I ran straight into the hood of a car, and it was a police car. And, you know, for years I've had this sort of fond memory of what the officer must have thought, you know, like just he's there and he's like, what is this numbnuts kid doing? You know, and of course he told me, don't do that. But of course, in the past few years, it's occurred to me that might have gone quite different if I was a black kid. Now, mightn't it? Which leads me to just another thing I want to say that has occurred to me. Like, I'm really frustrated and just antsy, and it's getting to me. It's exhausting for 11 weeks now. Just if I want to go run an errand, there is a heightened risk to my physical safety, even my life, and the physical safety and life of my family. And that's exhausting and it's frustrating. And it's occurred to me that if you are a black American, that's been true. If you're my age, that's been true for 2,639 weeks. You know, I'm amazed that there aren't more riots, considering how frustrating it must be all the time to know that just running a damn errand has a heightened sense of real physical danger to your health, your safety, and your life and your family. We're all getting a taste of it now. And anyone who's a black American has had it all their life. So here's a song that I learned in grade school. Live. Right. This is written by James Weldon Johnson. It's called Lift Every Voice. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the pain that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the future has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. All right. Well, a couple more songs for you. And again, I'm going to say it out loud, you know. All the evidence points to the fact that this president is a racist and is just another plank in the white supremacist infrastructure of this country. You know, he just has a double standard for everything, and it's fairly obvious in his language where that double standard lies. I think he's dangerous. I think he's a threat to our decency and our safety. And I think we need to do everything we can do to see that he loses the election, to get ourselves through the dangerous 3 months after he loses the election until the inauguration, to look after each other, because this guy is not looking out for us. And then once he is gone, to make hay while the sun shines and push the leaders that we do elect further. So here is a song that I wrote with 200 other people.
Every flag over Charleston does it have staff today, except one. Except one. Every flag over Charleston does it have staff today, except one. You know which one. Take down your flag to half staff. Take down your flag to half staff. Take down your flag to half staff. Sister Ethel Lance, there is a low country clap where you are sleeping. Sister Ethel Lance, today Emmanuel could use some sweeping. Take down your flag to half staff. Oh, take down your flag to half staff. Take down your flag to half staff. This is gonna take all of the love in all of our hearts, but this is also gonna take something more. This is gonna take all of the love in every single one of our hearts, but this is also gonna take something more, something more. Take down your flag to half staff. Oh, take down your flag to half staff. Take down your flag to half staff. And then take it down for good. All right, I'm going to finish up with this. Everybody stay safe. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening. It's good to see you chatting with each other. You know, here's a silver lining. Like if you guys had been talking to each other this much during a show in a club, other people would have shushed you, and there would have been that whole sort of, oh my God, is the audience listening? You know, I want to be there with you in rooms, and it looks like that's not going to be safe for quite a while until we get contact tracing and maybe a vaccine and some good form of treatments and, you know, all of that online. And so it looks like I'm not going to see you out in the rooms for a while. It looks like it's going to be a live stream. But I will say one silver lining. I love that people get to talk to each other.
you know, and it's sort of more it's got advantages even over Zoom. Like, it's kind of nice. You got the anonymity. You can just sort of chatter with each other. We actually we were watching some wonderfully bad 80s movies with some friends, and just using the chat feature in Zoom without the sound to just chat about the movies. It's, you know, it's not everything, but it's one improvement. Alrighty, thank you so much, Peter. People keep saying that the Venmo pic doesn't look like me. Yeah, that's me. That's me wearing a pair of glasses with my hair like all stringy. That's me. You know what? I'm gonna put one of. I'll update that. Yeah, you're the fifth person that thinks that that's not me. Or on the other hand, maybe there's some dude named Peter-Mulvey- I'm kidding. That's me. Peter-Mulvey-2 is me. It's showing up. Anyway, thank you. And one last time, thanks to One Longfellow Square. And know that some of the money, if you're throwing it my way, is going to the George Floyd Memorial Fund. You can also just throw money to that fund. And his family are going to, you know, they're going to need a lot in what's upcoming. And maybe they will sue the living pants off the Minneapolis Police Department, as they should. But honestly, if they don't want to, it's not their job. It's not their job. It's all of our job. All right. This is by Tom Waits. Oh, the moon is broken and the sky is cracked. Come on up to the house. The only thing you can see is all that you lack. Come on up to the house. Oh, you're crying, it don't do no good. Come on up to the house. Come down off the cross, we can use the wood. Come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. This world is not my home, I'm just passing through. You got to come on up to the house. There's no light in the tunnel, no irons in the fire. Come on up to the house. And you are singing lead soprano in a junk man's choir. Come on up to the house. Doesn't life seem nasty, brutish and short? Come on up to the house. The seas are stormy and you can't find a port. Come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. You got to come on up to the house. Now there is nothing in the world that we can do. Come on up to the house. When you've been whipped by the forces that are deep inside of you. Come on up to the house. You're high on top of your mountain of woe. Come on up to the house. Oh, you know you should surrender, but you can't let it go. Come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house.
The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Now come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on to the house.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks again to One Longfellow Square in Portland, Maine, one of the good venues. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be doing this just about every Sunday in June, so please tune in. And I'm partnering with a whole bunch of different venues and organizations, including perhaps closest to my heart, the National Youth Science Foundation. That's in the middle of the month. So please, if you would, spread the word about these and keep tuning in. And again, if you strap for money, it's fine. Just tune in and listen and share. It's all good. Thank you so much. Thanks for the company. And I'll see you a week from today. Thanks. Bye-bye.